everyone and welcome. Now, fish and chips is a family favorite in many countries, but it is not exactly healthy for you. So I wanted to show you my version of Eat Yourself Sexy Fish and Chips, where it is bursting with color, flavor, and personality. Now, this dish is extremely economical to make. It is also very tasty, so I think this will hit your menus at least once a week, and it's also perfect for a dinner party. Now, I'm going to be using some salmon pieces today. You can, of course, use any fish that you prefer, but I'm also going to show you how to pimp up some good old-fashioned frozen peas. Now, frozen peas have a terrible reputation for being cheap, but I think that they are beautiful and bursting with sweetness and personality, and I love to use them. So what I've got in my little pot here is just about a cup or 2 cups, depending on how many people you are feeding, of our beautiful cheap frozen peas. What I've done is just a little bit of a sliced clove of garlic. I've got either some milk or some dairy cream. You can use a coconut cream if you prefer. And I've just got that coming up to a nice low or a gentle heat. Now, the trick here is to do this without overcooking the peas. I've got a little bit of a stock cube, and I love using these because they're valuable flavor. And I always make sure when choosing a stock cube or powder, if you're not making your own, and that's absolutely fine if you're not, that you like the smell of the stock cube, because generally, if you like the smell, you are going to love the flavor. So I've just got a quarter of that, and I'm just literally going to crumble it into our peas here, and we are ready to add our liquid. Now, this really does not take a very long time. And as you can see, I've added a minimal amount of liquid in there. We're not going to cover the peas in water or anything like that. So literally, if your stovetop was on nice and hot, this could be done in under a minute. So while those peas are heating up, I have got a raw sweet potato. Now, you can use anything that you might have. So a normal potato or even a parsnip or a carrot will work. And what I've got is, I've got a fancy julienne peeler. Now, you might not have this wavy peeler. By all means, you can use your normal potato peeler. And what I'm going to do is, these are going to head into my air fryer. And this is our chips alternative for our beautiful fish and chips recipe. Now, as you can see, I've given this a good scrub, and I have left the skin on there because I'm far too lazy to take the skin off. And also, it can be the best part. So these are done. So when it comes to the boil, I'm literally going to stir it through and take it off the heat. Now, there's many ways to puree this. You might have a stick blender with a metal head. That is absolutely fine. What I'm going to do to get a really elegant pea puree is I'm using my little bullet blender here. Now, you do need to be a bit careful here, because obviously when we are blending hot stuff, it can often put that under tremendous pressure, and it might even explode and can be very dangerous. So I'm putting this in here now, just so that I can get my pot cleaned and put away. And then when these are slightly cooler, I can blend them nice and safely. So our little peas only took a minute. I've got them cooling down in our blender. I've just done a few of the sweet potato fries, and like I said, it depends on how many you have in the family, just before they hit the air fryer. And I'm going to just use the chip setting, and it should take about 4 to 6 minutes depending on the strength of your fryer, your little air fryer. I have put a little bit of olive oil over the chips just so that they get that nice crunch. So you can use whatever oil you prefer. You could use a peanut oil or an olive oil or just a good old-fashioned sunflower oil, and in the air fryer they go. This is really quick and easy, guys. The little chips are in the air fryer. I've got a non-stick pan here, and what I'm going to do is put that on a nice high temperature. What I like to do before I start my cooking journey, and especially with fish, is I like to give my pan a little spray of a workhorse oil. Now, not all oils are equal. I would never spray a finished dish or a salad with that cheap and nasty oil, but they are fantastic workhorses for in your pan, especially if you want to cook at a temperature. I find that extra virgin olive oil is like a little princess. It doesn't like to get hot and sweaty or do any work, and generally it'll make everything stick into your pan. So if you have had a stressful fish cooking incident and it's all stuck to the pan, change your oil and you'll change your life. Now, I literally talk until that pan is nice and swear word hot, because if I take my beautiful fish and put it into a cold pan, it is not going to brown off and caramelize beautifully. And what I want is to create that beautiful sear on the outside as if I was cooking a steak. So while that is getting nice and hot, I'm going to season the fish. Now, I always say season your food because it shows you care. So just a nice simple bit of salt. And as you can see, I'm using my little tea strainer here. This is a great little tip for you. That's about half a teaspoon of salt. And what it allows me to do is get a nice even salt snow onto our fish, just so that it's not under-seasoned or over-seasoned. So once that fish is seasoned on all sides, I've got our pan nice and hot here, and I'm actually going to put it not skin side down, I'm going to put the other side down. And what I want you to hear when you put your fish into that pan is a really seriously sexy sizzle. Now that sizzle is the sound of success, because if you have a lovely sexy sizzle in your pan just like that, you are almost guaranteed to have perfect caramelized and brown and deliciously sexy fish, rather than a gray fish which really hasn't had its flavors developed. So here I'm literally going to leave that on the one side for about 1 to 2 minutes until I can smell it's nice and brown and I've got a perfect crust. So definitely manage the heat in your pan. If it is too hot, you have my permission to just turn it down, but I definitely want to keep that sizzle going the entire time I am cooking. Also, with our fish and our chips, we often serve lemon. Now, I think lemon wedges are terribly old-fashioned. I've seen them a million times and they do absolutely nothing for me. So what I've got is a lemon, and I've cut it sort of on the diagonal. And what I'm going to show you how to do is caramelize your fruit. I call it sexy fruit. We're going to get a beautiful brown crust on that. What it's going to do is it's going to sweeten our lemon juice, and I'm cheap. We get more juice out of there if the lemon is warm. Okay, so our lemon is in there, and our first side of our salmon is beautiful and brown. We have literally won the race here, guys. What I'm going to do is put it onto the skin side now, and I'm actually going to be removing the skin completely. I find that if I take the skin off, and we never order soggy skin salmon in a restaurant, so I definitely don't want you serving that at home. So the best way we can do this is if I actually remove that skin, it reveals that beautiful layer of fat that is hidden between the skin and that lovely salmon meat, and we're going to brown it off, and it is going to be like salmon bacon. It's going to be amazing. So once you've had that fish skin down for about a minute, you can just pop it over, and with your tongs is just grabbing the fish skin just on the corner, and it should release either in one piece, or if it breaks apart, please don't stress. And what you can see here is if you serve that to your guests, they would not be very excited with you because it doesn't look very nice, but that is valuable fat and valuable flavor. I'm going to throw that in the pan fat side down, but be careful, because when that fat starts rendering, your fish is going to get very angry. Now that I've removed the skin, it's time to turn these over and get a lovely brown sear on the other side. Now that that side where the skin came off is brown, I'm going to pop these guys just on the side and let that brown off. So I like to brown all the sides. Our lemon is beautiful and caramelized and black and bursting with juiciness and flavor. Our fish skin is nearly nice and crisp. I'm going to let it go a little bit more than that. And while that fish is browning, and of course you will need to manage the heat in your pan. You can see I just put it a little bit hotter. Our fries are nearly done, and check them because they should only take 4 or 5 minutes in your air fryer. These are at a safe temperature now where I can put that lid on and blend them into a beautiful, elegant green puree. So that was a little bit noisy, but worth it. Look at that vibrant green because we did not overcook those peas. Now, of course, if you didn't want to use all of your beautiful, elegant pea puree, you could use this as a soup the next day, nice and cold, with a little swirl of coconut cream and anything else you like. And now we are ready to serve. So that does not take long at all. We have a beautiful plate here, and our fries are absolutely gorgeous. They are nice and brown and crispy. I'm just going to let them go just for another minute, but please don't burn them because they don't take long at all. We have the fish perfectly cooked, and what I'm happy for you to do is if it's fresh salmon, serve it pink inside. It's absolutely glorious, and I think a better texture. Now, with our plate, we are going to do an elegant pea puree onto the middle of the plate. Now, that is perfectly seasoned. You can add a little bit of lemon juice at the end, as I have done. And then I call it a lemon pea puree, which sounds a lot more expensive than frozen peas. Just onto the base of the plate, and you can see the texture, the velvety, smooth texture. And we didn't work too hard or do anything too difficult here, so it really is something that I would like you to try. We then have our perfectly cooked fish, which is very sexy on all sides. So pop it onto our pea puree, and now the hero of the dish, that lovely crispy salmon skin, which is like bacon. So that can be served just on the top there, adorning our beautiful dish. So fish and chips just got sexy and got very, very healthy. This is our gorgeous little lemon, and if I squeeze him, you will see all of that lovely juice squeezing onto our fish. And now for the fries. So here is our nest of our sweet potato fries. Now you can drain that on paper towel if you need to, but out of the air fryer, it can go straight onto the top as our little gorgeous nest of chips. Guys, this is one of my absolute favorite dishes to do for the friends or family, especially when I'm wanting to just introduce some nice healthy alternatives to a very family-friendly dish. And I always like to get some beautiful herbs or petals out of my garden and make it look as if I've planned the whole thing and I'm spoiling them terribly. Enjoy, guys. Happy cooking, and I hope you try this for yourself.